With the approach Andrew took, Jen Lehman and myself in the edit suite, we were able to draw from this incredible library of idiosyncratic, personal, and frightening, and beautiful images to represent a thought process of somebody who's able to look into dull matter and see energy within that.
All the practical effects, like the thing that they did in the bedroom with Killian, the spinning atom, it just allows you to use takes and footage where he's actually looking at something.
Chris is almost in the bed with me with some fucking thing that's going around in front of the camera for real. And people will look at that and they think, oh, that's, you know, done in post, but it's not. It's Chris like spinning this thing that you see and it's all for real. You know, Oppenheimer sees things in sort of different dimensions. So sometimes when his brain is going, the background is vibrating, and that's all done in camera.
I just take a photograph of the scene and then we line the projector up exactly with the place where the photograph's taken from. So it's kind of making his world a little bit unstable in those moments in the film where he's feeling some kind of pressure from the events that are happening around him.
It was very nice for us to actually shoot it for real because he could also speed up the vibration or slow it down. He could tune that perfectly with the buildup of the scene.
The world will remember this day.
With the Trinity test, what I knew from experience, having done, you know, a nuclear explosion via computer graphics in Dark Knight Rises, which worked very well for that film, and I was very pleased with everybody's work on that film. It showed me that with a real-life event like Trinity that's as well documented, the footage is very accessible, the computer graphics would never give you the sense of threat that you see in the real-life footage.
You know right away you're not doing the explosion that they did, so you got to figure out a way that you're going to at least get something big, something we could repeat from different angles, and was going to kind of get it right. You ready? Ready to get 100%.
Thank you. Okay, we are.
Because, you know, people definitely take a better look at his movies, and especially the accuracy on a film like this.
1, 0.
So this is a thing for simulating the shock wave from the atomic bomb. There's a slider to cover this bed in thin dust and then release that. And as these little wires slide under the dust, it kicks up like a little shock wave.
The two of them did a lot of R&D. They did a lot of experimentation. They came up with some very interesting analog methods.
1, 0.
A lot of different types of explosions, a lot of different frame rates, approaches to how to film it with the camera, a lot of different things going into that sequence.
On top, we have about 60 gallons of gasoline with some high explosive, and we detonate that, and then about 0.2 of a second later, we detonate some aluminum powder for some bright flash, and then about almost a half a second later, we detonate the mortar at the bottom, which is gasoline and diesel and black powder, and that pushes up through to kind of create our mushroom cloud.
Okay, we're hot. Here we go. Roll cameras. Rolling. Rolling. Speed. Speed. Okay, and go.
I think for modern day effects, this is kind of bigger than normal. Back in the day, a lot of this was commonplace on a lot of movies, but I think now well, not quite this big.